Hi, my name is Shuang, and this is Lesbian Media History. And in honor of it being Lesbian Visibility Week, today we're going to be talking about the origins behind the first kiss captured on film. So let's get into it. And to understand the correlation, we have to do a very quick crash course on the history of film, which brings us to the phenakistoscope, which was a Victorian parlor toy invented in 1832 by German physicist Joseph Plateau. And this was a spinning cardboard disc with radial slits that, when viewed through a mirror, created the illusion of movement. And this paved the way for the zoetrope, which was invented in 1834 by William George Horner. Both of these inventions relied on the principle of persistence of vision, which essentially just explains the natural inclination for the brain to fill missing gaps. So for example, if the brain sees images of a continuous motion in fast, rapid succession, this will be perceived as continuous movement. And then in 1839, the French painter Louis-Jacques Montaigne finally perfected the photographic process, which is the origins of what a daguerreotype is. And it's not that before this we didn't have cameras. We've had the camera obscura. Artists just had to manually trace the images that they saw, but the daguerreotype truly did allow for the tangible materialism of photographs to exist. These daguerreotypes took a very long time to produce, and it said that it took up to 30 minutes for one singular image. And as we talked about before with this theory of persistence of vision, you needed a lot of images in very quick succession. So in 1872, the former governor of California, Leland Stanford, hired the photographer Edward Muybridge because he had a bet with his friends. He believed that horses were traveling so fast that at any given time, it was very possible that all their hooves could be off the ground, which is why he hired a photographer in hopes that he could capture this on film. So in 1842, he set up his first meeting with Edward Muybridge, who was at this point one of the leading photographers on the West Coast. And at this time, he was primarily known for taking pictures of landscapes. And this endeavor took him about 5 years. And it wasn't until 1878 that he finally completed the project. Thank you for your patience. This is where it's about to get lesbian. So in 1882, he was invited to the University of Pennsylvania to continue his studies of motion capture, but this time focusing his efforts on humans rather than horses. And this project was conducted primarily to serve as this body of work that was going to be used as a reference for how human bodies moved. So over the next 6 years, he recorded all types of actions. During this time period, which was the 19th century, it would have been absolutely obscene, completely immoral to have a man and woman kiss, because again, the models he used were fully nude, like how you would think of figure drawing. And at this time, female sexuality was largely unacknowledged, so the concept of lesbianism honestly wasn't at the forefront of any man's mind at this time. So he had two female models stand in place for a male and female for the recording of the first kiss. This was quite clinical. He instructed the woman to stand a pace apart, meet in the middle, go for a handshake, and then begin kissing. And the kiss ended up being 24 frames. And after its completion, honestly, it kind of faded into obscurity. And it was viewed in theory, again, as just for research purposes. But the more you know, the first ever recorded kiss in history was between two women. I hope you guys get to kiss someone this week, and I will see you later.